Hi and welcome. I'm Charles, and today we're going to go through an hour rocket practice. Make sure you got your space ready, anything you need, blocks, props, and then make yourself comfortable. However you like to sit, if it's crossed legs, if it's sitting on your heels, close your eyes and take a few moments here to settle into your space. As the eyes close, the breath softens. Take attention to your body. How do you feel today? Noticing any area of your body where maybe you feel more tension, more resistance. And see if you can bring a little bit more softness to those areas. And then taking attention to your breath. A few moments observing your breath, the journey of the breath, coming in, passing to the back of the throat, filling the chest, and maybe that breath reaches all the way down to the belly. And as you exhale, you feel the journey of the breath raising from the belly all the way up, back of the throat, and leaving the body from the nose or from the mouth. Take a moment to check how you feel, not only at the physical level, any particular emotions are with you today on your mat. And some days those emotions are going to be strong, other days are going to be a little bit more subtle. And all is good. No right, no wrong. You're simply taking a moment to check in, to tune in. Last, we shift attention to our thoughts, simply noticing what you're thinking in this moment. If there's one thought, many thoughts, if the thoughts are random or connected. And again, all is good. There's no right, no wrong. It is what it is. Take a deep, long breath in through the nose. Breathe out. Full breath in. Breathe out. Gently bring the palms together, the center of the heart. Palms softly pressing together, the thumbs rest on the center of the sternum. I'm taking a moment here to think, what's the reason you decided to come to your mat today? Maybe there's a particular reason, an intention behind your practice. And if you'd like to share your practice or share the energy that you generate when you move and breathe with an intention, sharing that energy with someone else, something or cause, bring them to your heart. Again, deep breath in. And breathe out. We open the practice with one Om, deep breath in. Maybe the eyes stay closed, maybe gently bring the eyes open. Bring the hands to your mats. Come on your hands on your knees. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Tuck the toes under. Draw the belly button to the spine as you do. Slowly lift the knees from the ground. Slowly slide the knees back. Take your time. Lift the tailbone. Come into your first downward facing dog. First down dog, use it to move your body. Use it to connect with all the different parts of your body. So from the fingers, maybe you like to move the fingers, moving the shoulders, pedaling the feet, wiggling the hips. If you like to open the hips, you can lift the legs to the sky, opening one hip, maybe the other one. Doing your own movements, whatever you need to do here. Finding movements in the shoulders, maybe finding a back bend here. Make sure the movements are controlled. Connecting and feeling your body. Good. And slowly, in your own time, in your own way, find your way back to your down dog. Press the tip of the fingers into the ground a little bit more. Press and ground through the heels. And slowly walk to the top of the mat, step by step. See if you can keep the hands on the ground. If you need to lift the hands, it's fine. Place them on your shins. And then go wide with the feet. As wide as your hips or as wide as your mat. The head stays low. You can keep the hands down. You can take your elbows. You can interlace the fingers behind the head. Make sure the knee stays soft, protecting the lower back. And then you bring movement to the body. Shifting the weight side to side. Maybe take a little bit deeper. Twisting to one side. Twisting to the other. And then slowly finding a center, finding stillness once more. Release the hands down. Soften the knees a little bit more. Stop pressing through the heels and lifting up. Shoulders and head last thing to lift. Vertebra by vertebra, lifting up. Push forward with the hips. Slowly you lift up. Once you made your way up, roll the shoulders up to the ears. Deep breath in. Let it go. Stepping forward, feet come together. Come into your first pose, mountain pose, Tadasana. So we ground through the heels. So heels press down and gently outwards. Thighs move inwards. Lift up the kneecaps, tuck the tailbone under. Belly button draws in, closing the ribs. Once more, lifting the shoulders, deep breath in. And exhale, breathing out. From here, turn the palms slightly forward as you open and lift the chest. Close the mouth and start finding your breath through the nose. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Maybe contracting the back of the throat, finding your ujjayi breath, a deep sound as you breathe in and breathe out. Take a couple breaths here. Find your own rhythm. One more breath. Gently blinking eyes open, and here we start moving. Deep inhalation as you raise the hands to the sky, looking up, tip of the fingers touch. Exhale, take a deep forward fold, hands on the shins or hands on the ground. Lengthen, look forward, inhale, open the chest. Step the right foot back, left foot joins, high plank. For the first one, we're going to take the knees down, and then chest and chin come down, elbows to ribs. Tuck the toe, place the top of the feet on the mat as you roll forward, chest opens. And then we sit back on the heels, child pose for a moment. Keep it moving, inhale, come into all fours, tuck the toes under, push back, downward facing dog. First breath to adjust the pose, and then find stillness. Making sure there's an energy to the fingers, to the feet. So the hands push down and towards the center of the mat. Shoulders roll away from the ears. Heels press down and gently outwards, the thighs move inwards. Notice what happens if you soften slightly the knees. Generally that tailbone can lift a little bit more as you push the chest towards the thighs. Keep breathing in through the nose. Breathe out through the nose. Let's take one more full deep breath here. Looking forward, inhale, right foot steps forward, and exhale, left foot joins. Breathe in as you look forward. Exhale, deep forward fold. Inhale, taking all the way up, hands reach high, tip of the fingers touch. Exhale, prayer to heart, release the hands to the side. And once more, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, we lengthen. Exhale, Uttanasana, deep forward fold here. Ardha Uttanasana, the chest opens, look forward. Step the left foot back this time, right foot joins. We're going to take an extra breath here. Use the fingers, pull yourself forward, chest comes forward. Exhale, halfway down, elbows to ribs. Staying here for a breath. Inhale, draw the belly button in. Exhale, squeeze those elbows. Then place the top of the feet on the mat, knees, thighs lifted, push with the hands. Upward facing dog. And pushing back. Downward facing dog. First breath,
adjust the pose, find stillness, stay with your breath. Inhaling. Exhaling, ribs in, belly in. Lengthen to the back of the legs, pressing down heels, pressing down the tip of the fingers. Let's take one more full breath here. Long deep breath out. Left foot steps forward, inhale. Exhale, right foot joins. Take a deep breath in, look forward, press down with the hands. Exhale, fold it. Deep inhalation, we raise high. Exhale, prayer to heart, Samasthiti. Bending the knees this time. Utkatasana, dip and rise. Exhale, folding forward, chest to thighs. Lengthen and look forward. Try to keep the hands on the ground. Maybe lifting the heels in your own way. Walk, step, flow back, lower down. Push with the hands, up dog. Option if you want, you can add a second chaturanga here, then push back, down dog. Right foot steps forward between your hands, grounding the left heel, inhale, reaching high with the hands. Exhale, frame your foot, press, try not to drag the foot, lift it, step back, lower down. Up dog, the heart opens. Again, your option here, second chaturanga, then push back. Left foot steps forward. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, moving with the breath, lowering down. Heart lifts, chest opens. Chaturanga if you want, or second one, pushing back, downward, facing dog. Breathing in and breathing out. And remember, you can modify your practice, so you can eliminate the second chaturanga. If you like, you can continue with knees, chest, chin. And even the down dogs can become a child pose if you want. Or if you feel ready, if you've got that extra energy, you can always go upside down. Inhaling. Exhale. Let's take one more deep breath in. One long deep breath out. Beautiful. Soften the knees, look forward. Inhale, walk, step, float to the top of the mat, length. Exhale, fold forward. Dip and rise. Inhaling. Keep moving, exhaling, deep forward fold. Lengthen, look forward, hands to ground, lift the heels, walk, step, flow back, lower down, up dog. In your own way, finding your downward facing dog. Right leg to sky, let's point the toes. Right knee, right armpit, lean forward, arms straight. Take it back, inhaling. Exhaling, twist, right knee, back of the left arm. Inhale, lifting high. Exhale, knee to nose, kiss your knees. Stay here, take an extra breath. Look forward, lean forward. Right foot comes down, push back with the left heel. High lunge, inhaling. Exhaling, hands to ground, press, lift, step back, lower down. Up dog. In your own way, finding your way back, down dog. Take it to the left side, left leg high. Left knee, left armpit, lean forward, push with the hands. Inhale, going high. Finding your twist, back of the right arm with the knee. Lifting high, left leg. Take the knee, kiss your knee. Breathe, look forward, place the foot down. Push back with the right heel to lift up. And hands to the ground, we step back, we lower down, chaturanga. Up dog. And pushing back, downward facing dog. And breathing, pressing with the tip of the fingers. Pushing with the heels, closing the armpits. And breathing through the nose. Slowing down the breath. Inhaling. Exhaling. Beautiful. One more deep inhalation. On an exhale, soften the knees, look forward. Inhale, walk, step, float to the front of the mat, length. Fold. We bend our knees, raising up to a chair pose, and this time we're going to stay here, choosing
Hands together, but make sure the shoulders stay down. Or keeping the arms nice and wide. Sit back on your chair. Make your toes light. Spread the toes as wide as you can. Next inhalation, interlace the fingers. Push your hands to the sky. And exhale, we're going to come halfway down. Chest comes down. Lengthen the tailbone. Push forward with the hands. Heels press down and gently outwards. The knees are glued together. Next inhalation, lift the heels. Exhale, suck the belly button in, round as much as you can. Inhale, take the hands to the ground in line with your shoulders. Exhale, the knees go wide behind armpits or triceps. Option, maybe you take a Malasana squat pose. If you follow me, 2 choices. Kakasana, elbows bent. Bakasana, you go with the elbows straight. We stay for 1, 2, 3. One more breath. Lift the tailbone. Exhale. Walk, step, flow back. Finding your vinyasa. Up dog. And you choose how you go back. Second chaturanga or directly back to your downward facing dog. Let's take a breath here. Let's all catch up in our down dog. And then right 4 steps forward. Warrior 1. So the back heel stays on the ground. Pull that right hip back. Hands reach high. Same thing here as your chair pose. The hands can stay together, but make sure the shoulders don't stay glued to the ears. If that's the case, go nice and wide. Pull down the shoulder blades. If you got the hands wide, turn the palms slightly to look back. Push your right knee forward. Tuck the tailbone under. Ribs and belly in. Sink. For 1 more breath here, then we open up. Virabhadrasana B, Warrior 2. So maybe shuffle the back foot slightly turned in. Sink low. Can you bring that right thigh to be parallel to the mat? Spread the fingers as wide as you can. Feel the stretch between the fingers, soft gaze forward. Relax the shoulders. Notice away in your space. If you're too forward or too back, center yourself. And then exhalation, we straighten the right knee. Walk slightly back foot in. Reach forward with the right hand. Don't rush to come down. When you're ready, right hand comes down, left hand to the sky. You choose. You want to keep the right hand there. Maybe you push the inner ankle. You can take the hand to the ground. Classically, we take the big toe. Press the big toe down. Look to the left hand. Lengthen the bottom side. Shorten the top side. Belly and ribs in. Two more breaths here. We're going to modify the classic version of Rocky. We're going to add one of the balances here, Ardha Chandrasana. So look down, bend the right knee, place the right hand in front of you. Maybe you shorten the stance, or you lean forward, you lift the left leg. Right hand in line with the shoulder. If you cannot reach the ground, you can take a support. Then try to find stillness, gaze down, or to your side, or towards the left hand. Option 2, to take your back foot. And falling out from these poses is completely okay. You're allowed to fall out. You're allowed to fall out. You're allowed to try again. And breathing. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more deep breath here. And then both hands to the ground. Standing split. We're going to take a few standing split in the sequence of today. I suggest this one to take it with a closed hip. So drop the left hip. Kick with the left heel back. Hands forward, maybe walk back, maybe take a block, maybe hands firm on the ground. Option 2, to lift the hands off the ground, and maybe you work on balancing on the right foot. But keep the left hip closed. You're kicking with both heels. One down, one back. Chest comes all the way down. Breathing in. Breathing out. If you want to transition to a handstand, feel free to do that too. We're going to come to Pararita Trikonasana. So we're going to bring the left foot down, calmly. Stabilize here, turn the left foot in, slightly pull the right hip back.
left hand to the inside of the foot, on the ankle or on the outside of the foot, and then we open up to the right. Gaze down first, maybe the gaze turns to the right, maybe the gaze goes all the way up. And the left hand is pressing and pulling. The right big toe glued to the ground as you press down to the left heel. We breathe in, pull up those kneecaps, quads active. Take one more breath here, and then we're going to go again on the balance, on a balance variation. So we're going to stay on the right leg, shift the way forward. Now it's the left hand that stays on the ground. I'm going to slightly back just to stay on the mat. Left hand stays down. Pick up the back leg, pointed toes this time, spiral the thigh inwards. And then again, opening and twisting to the right. How close you can bring your left ribs to the inner right thigh. Spiraling action here. The left heel kicking to the sky. Toes pointed, reach out with the right hand. And we take one more deep breath here. We look down, hands to the ground. The foot stays pointed. Now spiral the left thigh, nice and wide. Take that standing split as wide as you want, as wide as you need. And you come down. Option here. You can bring the hands forward. You can start preparing maybe for a handstand. So you start rocking forwards and backwards. As you rock forward, you press the hands down. As you lean back, you release. Maybe small hops, trying to bring the right heel into the chest as quick as you can. Hop, come down. Hop, come down. Maybe you're going to find a place where you go up and it stays there. If you're here, then you work on straightening both legs. Maybe you find your handstand. 3 breaths here. If you fall down, you try again, or you come back to your standing split or variation of. Once you're done, 3 breaths, we're going to all meet in the same place. You're going to step the left foot back. You're going to drop the left heel to the left. So you're on the outer edge of the left foot. Left hand slides in the middle of the mat. Bring the right foot back. Now you can bring one foot in front of the other one. You can stack the feet. You choose. Right hand to the sky. The left hand drilling into the ground, so you open the left shoulder. Belly in, ribs in, and then here you can play again with your variations of choice. And breathing in, breathing out. One more deep breath. From wherever you are, can you step the right foot forward without using your hand? So right foot, long step forward. In or reach out with the hands. Paravrita Parshvakonasana. Left elbow outside right thigh. I like to use my hand to press down so it gives me more space. Hands in prayer or your variation. Now the back heel can stay lifted. If you want to modify, you can even take the knee down. If you got a knee high, stay here. Hands can go in opposite directions. However you like to take your twist, you can even go for maybe a bind. And breathing. And notice your breath. If by taking a bind, you cannot breathe, and I notice because I cannot talk, I take a step back. I modify, so I can still stay in a pose, but I can breathe deep. And again, one more breath here. And then calmly, gently, I look down, both hands touching the ground at the same time. Step back, lower down, vinyasa. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Take a moment here. We're going to come down with the forearms, dolphin. So squeezing elbows to the center line. See if you can bring both elbows to touch the ground at the same time. Take a step forward. Options. You can stay here, pushing down through the heels. And notice maybe the elbows go slightly wider, depending on the configuration of the shoulders. Focus on elbows in. You can stay here. Maybe you flip the hands. Maybe you take a three-legged version. Again, you can flip the hands. If you come into a Pincha Mayurasana, so the forearm balance, hands wide apart, or can take your hands together. Again, what you prefer for your balance. Try to hop in, try not to kick, but try to really use the pressure on the elbows and the forearms to lift up. And then lifting. Many variations here, choosing how you like to move with the legs. Maybe chin comes to collar. And breathing here. Long, deep breaths. Take 2 full breaths. When you're done, we're going to all meet in a child pose, or simply sitting on your heels. Feel free to stay up if you want a little bit longer. Otherwise, as I said, sitting on your heels or taking a forward fold. One more breath here, recovering. Notice your breath, slow it down, make it longer, calmer. Beautiful. Let's move. Good news, we've done the right side. Slightly less good news, maybe we need to do the left side. So, recovering, find your down dog. Left foot steps forward. Warrior one. Draw the right hip in. Left hip back. Knee possibly in line with the ankle. Maybe the back foot needs to slide further back. Back foot around 45 degrees turned in. But make sure no sensation in the ankle. Knee is protected. So you're really using the thigh here too. Then hands up and breathing. Drawing the right hip in. Pressing the outer edge of the back foot. Not going to stay here long, only one deep breath. To then lift slightly through the left knee, open up, back foot turns slightly further out, so just a fraction turn inwards to protect the knee. And notice here if you can maybe make it long. I know on this side I'm a little bit more tight, but try to come down a little bit more with her hip, tuck the tailbone under, shoulders relaxed, fingers nice and wide, deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Uttita Trikonasana. We straighten the front leg, walk slightly the back foot in, draw the left hip in, right hip pushes back and up. We lengthen, then we fold for the crease of the waist. Hand can stay on the ground, you can take your ankle here, or maybe reach the big toe. Push forward the hips. Draw the belly button in, ribs in, spreading against the fingers. If you want to keep the fingers together, that's okay too. Just notice the difference. If you're used to doing one thing, explore other variations. Breathing in. And then looking down. Front knee bends, we're preparing. Left foot comes front of the left foot. Maybe you shorten the stance. Maybe you lean forward. And you come up. Kick with both heels. The right thigh opens. Push with the hips forward. If you're looking for a little bit extra back bend, bend the back knee. And then opening up. And imagine you're wrapping yourself around something. So chest pushes forward, heart pushes forward, knee lifts, push with the foot, right shoulder up. Deep breath in. Slowly. Releasing the forehead feel out the foot, both hands to the ground, standing split. Take a moment to reset the hips, kick back with the right heel, squaring the hips, take the position with the hands, and then staying here. Notice when you flex a foot, the hip cannot open as much, but it's way more active on the hamstrings of the opposite leg. So working really on the left leg here, or the hamstrings and the quad of the right leg. If you're looking for the balance, you can work, play around with the hands off the mat. One more breath. From wherever you are, you're going to meet on the same spot. Hands to the ground. Take the right foot down. Shift the weight a little bit more to the right foot. Pull the left hip back. Right hand inside the foot, on top of the foot or outside the foot. And then push the left hip even through the back as you open up to the left. Hand pushes down and it pulls you forward. Ground yourself through both heels. Notice the left big toe. Can you press a little bit more into the ground? Beautiful. Slowly looking down for a moment. Shifting a hand to the right corner of the mat. You can do this, continue looking up too, way more difficult. Otherwise, as I did, you look down first, you lift the back leg, pointed toes, and again, finding your twist. Paravrita Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose, or twisted half moon pose. And we come to standing split. Once more, hands to the ground. Now the right hip can open up a little bit more. You choose. You stay there, standing split. You can do like before, hands around the ankle. Or hopping, small hopping, or your own variation of coming up to your handstand. So a few breaths here, playing around with your inversion or your standing split. We're going to take one more breath. Left foot between the hands. And right foot back. Comes down. Turn on the outer edge of the foot. Slide the right hand to the middle of the mat. Shifting the weight to the right hand. Press down, free up the right shoulder. Left shoulder reaches up, lifts up. Take your variation. Press with the outer edge, draw the ribs in. Maybe you take the big toe down to the ground. If you've got binds, you can take hold of the left big toe, or other variations here. Let's take one more deep breath. And if you can, without using the left hand, you're going to step all the way forward. Land gently with the left foot. Free up the hips, reach high, inhale, high lunge, and exhale, we go for the twist. Right elbow outside the left thigh, and you twist. If you got a prayer, make sure the thumbs are not touching the chest. Left hand pushes down, try to have the hands in line with your chest, or with the center of the chest, sorry. Talking and twisting is not easy. And melting here. If you've got any other variations, feel free to do that too. Remember, particularly in breaths, notice and listen to the quality of the breath. You should be able to breathe normally, like if you were standing up, like in your mountain pose, like in your Tadasana. Nothing has changed in your breath. Breathing in, breathing out. And then we release. Hands to the ground. With control, we step back. Finding your vinyasa. And we're going to meet in down dog. Second round of pincher. Elbows come down. Squeezing in. Take a moment. Maybe you swap legs. Maybe the other leg is a little bit more challenging. Again, for me too. Left side, I need to work a little bit more. And then leaning forward. Maybe finding a balance on the forearms. Once you find your stability, you can start playing around with the legs, playing around with different configurations. If you're still exploring your pincher, work on trying to really reach high with the point of the toes. If you're in your dolphin, press down with the forearms, press down with the heels. Let's take one more breath. And then we're going to meet in a child pose. Once more, slowly, with control. Child pose or sitting on your heels, whatever you like. And it's a moment, like we did at the beginning, of contemplation, of observation. We take these little moments of complete stillness to notice if there's changes on how you feel, your thoughts. Okay, we continue moving. Hands to ground, down dog, and simply walk the hands back. Allow the feet to go, again, wide as the hips. We're going to take Padangusthasana, so soften knees slightly, take hold of the big toes, press down with the toes, look forward, lengthen. Exhale, press down with the toes, pull yourself down. Now, a little bit of an easier version if you keep the weight on the heels. Otherwise, start moving forward. Press the balls of the feet down. The toes are light. The toes are not pressing. It's the balls of the feet. And then I lift my tailbone. Elbows nice and wide. Relax the head. Heels press down and gently outwards. Feel as soon as you push your heels out, there's like a broadening in the lower back, in the back of the legs. Let's take one more breath. And then we look forward. Inhale. Exhale. Release the pose. Now, one hand at a time or both hands slide underneath the feet. Bend the knees if you need. Try to reach the crease of the wrist if you can with the toes. Keep the knees bent. Same action as before. We press down with the feet. We look forward. Pull the hands up. Press down with the toes. Pull yourself down. And then try to straighten the knees. Push your heels out. Thighs move inwards. Now you've got options here. You can stay here, a little bit more classic. Or if you want to work more on a balanced version, spiral the biceps outwards, pull the shoulders back so the arms go straight. You look forward. Press with the balls of the feet into the hands as much as you can, and maybe you lift the heels. To lift the heels, you have to push the balls of the feet down, and you have to keep pressing because you don't have the hands as a brake. And if you fall, you try again, or you stay more in a classic version. The closer you go to the wrists, the little bit more challenging it is. Once you've done, release, taking a third variation here, simply take the elbows. Drop the head. How close you can bring the elbows to your big toes. Can you lengthen? Shift the weight forward. Maybe again, challenge yourself. Heels lift up off the ground. Feel the space in the back of the legs. Uddiyana Bandha, that core action, that great lock in the middle of the body, keeping that energy in the center of the body. And release it. Soften the knees, slowly uncurl the spine, vertebra by vertebra, raising up. Coming back to the classic rocket version, San Francisco twinkle toes. So lift the heels, push your heels out, but think of squeezing the inner feet together, the inner thighs active, pressing together. If you got a block, you can even take a block between your thighs for a few breaths. And then we're going to move to the top of the mat. You can choose to take small steps. If you want to challenge yourself, lift the knee, touch with the hand, you place it down.
And then again, lift the knee, right heel lift, press down, and slow steps to the top of the mat. Once you're at the top of the mat, take an extra breath, lengthen, 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 release, release the hands to the side. Feet together. We're going to go to the ground now. So release the feet, the hands by your side. And deep inhalation, lift the hands to the sky. Exhale, take a deep forward fold. Release your hands to the ground. Lengthen, look forward, hands to ground. If you're exploring that floating back instead of jumping back, walk the feet back. So have a bigger distance between feet and hands. Squeeze the elbows and lean forward. Especially if you're doing your own practice and you forgot a little bit more time, if you're watching this recording, take a moment, pause it and play on shifting weight to the tip of the fingers. Press down, lift the heels. Maybe stay a few breaths here. Eventually, you're going to lean forward enough where the feet become slightly lighter, and maybe you got a moment where they float. Maybe you touch your wrists. And you can do this action of leaning forward, touching the wrist, going back. Up dog. Down dog. Small things that you can start adding to your practice or even outside your practice, just exploring these little movements. Beautiful. We soften the knees, we look forward, walk, step, float the feet between the hands. Take a moment to settle in, bring the hands or bring the hips back, press the heels down, in edges the feet touch, deep breath in, we lift, exhale, forward fold, reaching wherever you can. It could be your ankles, it could be your big toes, it could be the sides of the feet. If you've got bind, take your bind. Take an extra breath in here. Exhale, lengthen. Now, elbows out, or if you've got the edges of the feet, it's nice to have the elbows in. So you can press the elbows into the ground, and I use that to push your heels forward and slide my hips a little bit further back. And I'm trying to lengthen, I'm trying to bring the full front of the body down on the legs. And it's not about the chin coming down, so not rounding. I'm lengthening, I'm looking forward here. I'm breathing. Beautiful. Let's take one more breath. We're going to come to a Mula Bandha checkup. So in or lengthen, look forward. Exhale. Come up. Bring the hands slightly forward on your hips. You're going to push the hips back. Option one, you keep the heels down. So you push, you lift. Option two, you lift one leg, turn it to the like right leg to the right leg to center. Come down, you do the opposite side. We're going to do around 5 breaths. Option to take it the full way up, hands by your side, pointed toes, press and lift. And we're going to stay here. So all together, preparing your variation, hands by your side on a count of 5. So 3, 2, 1, take your variation for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Try not to drop the feet, or when you touch with the hips, you lift the legs, pointed toes, cross the legs. You can roll forward or hands by your side, rolling forward, lifting, floating back if you can. Up dog, down dog. Bend the knees, look forward once more. Slide the legs through. Again, hands by your side, but this time further back. Press the heels down, press the hands down, squeeze the elbows. We're going to take Purvottanasana, back bend. So pressing, lifting. See if you can bring the big toes as close as possible to the ground. Tuck the tailbone under. Maybe the head goes back. And we breathe here. Option to take more of a tabletop variation. For some, this is easier. For some of you, it's going to be a little bit more challenging. So choose the one you want to do. But keep tucking the tailbone under. Keep drawing or lifting the pubic bone. Taking one more breath. And then in or look forward. Exhale, we come down. Lifting up the legs. From here, we're going to lower down. Exhaling, slowly lower down. Float the heels. Float the shoulders.
We're going to come up, inhaling, exhaling, inhale, exhale, last one. Let's pick it up. With control, we cross the legs, hands to the ground. You can roll forward, or you can press and lift, stay flow back. Up dog, downward facing dog. We come back to seated, bend the knees, look forward, float, slide the legs through. We're going to come to a twist. So bend the right leg, cross the right leg over the left. Option to keep the left leg straight, option to fold it in. If you fold it in, make sure the heel is not directly underneath your glute. Right big toe presses down, left hand to sky, deep inhalation here, exhaling, twisting. Now, options, some of you are going to take the elbow outside the knee. You can take a bind by threading the left arm through, or classically you go around, you take hold of the inner edge of the right foot, and the right hand, like if there was a pocket behind, you can wrap it around. I like to keep it on my ground because it helps me to keep myself nice and tall, and then I can twist a little bit more. And I'm not forcing my neck in any way. It's my right shoulder that draws back. And I breathe. Inhale, I press down, exhale, I twist. Let's take one more breath. Okay, slowly releasing, look forward first, and then you release a twist. We're going to stay in this position with the legs, or you can slide the left leg slightly out. You're going to take the right leg in. Hand on the knee, right hand on the knee, left hand on the foot. Small movements to big movements, whatever you like to do here. If this feels okay, you can take maybe a bind. The knee goes in the crease of the elbow, the foot in the crease of the left elbow. You can take maybe a bind. And notice I'm trying not to collapse back. I'm trying to keep my heart lifted. You can take that option where you thread the arms through, so the arms become a shelf. Pray and try to bring the prayer to the forehead. And if you're here, maybe you go further by backpacking the right leg. The right arm extends out. You take the outer edge of the right foot, and the trick, at least what works for me, is to pull back with my left hand, so I keep the left shoulder free, and then I try to straighten the leg. Pull free the shoulder, push with the leg. And you continue the action. The two ends that work in opposite direction. Eventually the right foot maybe straightens, and then you look underneath the left armpit. Now maybe you stay here. Maybe you take Navasana, Vinyasa. Otherwise from here, Ashtavakrasana if you want. So bring the back of the right leg in. Bring both hands to the ground, and you're going to cross left leg over the right. The chest comes forward, the legs squeeze around the right arm, you press, you lift, you look forward. From here, if you want to go to your Kundunyasa, draw the left knee to the left arm, bring the foot in, open up the legs, left foot touches down, right leg back, and you're up. Up dog. We all meet in down dog. Take a breath here. Press down to the heels to release the back. And as usual, what we've done on one side, we need to repeat on the other side. Bend the knees, look forward, and bring the legs through. Folding the right leg in if you want, or keep it straight. Left foot crosses over. The toes are down on the ground of the left foot. Right foot, it's the top of the foot that presses down. Left hand behind, deep breath in. Exhale, up. Draw the right shoulder back. Spiral chest open. Push the left hip down, and then you take your variation here. If you like to thread through, you can thread through, or you can take, as I did before, the inner edge of the foot, and then you can wrap the left arm behind. And as I said before, I like more keeping my hand down. It allows me to press down and keep spine a little bit more open, allows me to control my movements here. When you're ready, with no rush, the movements are controlled. The same time you took to go into the pose, you take to come out of the pose. And then maybe the right leg slides out. If you have the leg straight, you can keep the leg straight, and then you bring the left leg in. And immediately try to notice or feel if there's any difference in the joint. I know left hip for me, a little bit more tight, so I need to take a little bit extra care, especially on the knee. Then if you want, you can hug the leg in. A few breaths in, push your heart forward. If you want, take the shelf version, heart forward. And if you want the bind or the campus pose, outer edge of the foot, you slide the left leg as high as you can on your shoulder, and you actively squeeze. The left arm swings out, and it pushes out to keep the left hip open. And then the action of drawing shoulder back, left leg straightens. Shoulder back, left leg straightens. You keep doing those movements. Don't rush the pose. When you're ready, the leg straightens, and maybe look underneath the right armpit, the right shoulder. When ready, you can take Navasana, Vinyasa, or Ashtavakasana. Cross the right leg over the left. Prepare the hands first, squeeze the elbows in. Shift the weight forward, shin forward. You lift, squeeze the legs. You can go through down Navasana, Vinyasa, or Kundunyasa, slide the right leg in. And both legs back, finding your Vinyasa, up dog. We meet back in downward facing dog. Take a breath here. From here we come back to seated. This time without extending the legs forward. Bring the soles of the feet together. Use the hands if you can to shift the hips forward. Now you can take the feet if you want. Press the elbows to the inner thighs. Press down to the tailbone. And exhale. Try to come forward without rounding the back. So think more of back bend. So you come forward with the chest. It's not important how much you come down, but how much extension in the spine you can keep here. If you've got space, you can take the elbows in front of the shins. That gives you more traction. Now we're going to round. Try not to use your hands. Suck the belly in. Push everything to the back of the body. And try to bring the crown of the head towards your feet. Not using the hands. Using your core. Drawing everything to the back of the body. Massaging your digestive system here. Can you breathe normally? Good. Now, we're going to extend the arms forward without touching the ground, so the arms are by your ears. Keep the chin tucked in. You can look up a moment to see what I'm doing, and then we're going to lean back. I'm going to keep the spine rounded. I'm going to push your feet into the ground, and I'm going to ankle the spine. Vertebra by vertebra. Slowly coming down, without rush. Slowly making your way down. Good. From here, bring the knees together. Walk the feet wide. We're going to come to our back bends.
So see if you can have the feet as close as possible to you. And maybe even keeping the ankles. I like to keep my ankles for the first one. I'm going to press the feet down. I'm going to lift up. I'm going to press the arms down, tuck the tailbone under. You can even look at your knees. Notice if your knees are going wide. Push them, squeeze them together. Now, can you keep the shape and release the hands? Maybe bring the hands over the head. Reach. Maybe the hands come down, you press with the top of the hands. Let's take one more deep breath here. When ready, lift the heels, tuck the tailbone under, vertebra by vertebra. Slowly finding your way down. Release the hands by your side. And then we're going to take the hands by the ears. We're going to take 4 back bends, 2 full back bends. You can take 10 breaths in one back bend or 5 breaths and 5 breaths. So preparing, hands by your side or by the sides of the ears. And in or lifting up. Exhale, finding your back bend. And breathing. Take your variation if you like to lift the heels. Five breaths. When you're done, you can stay up or chin to collar, come down for a moment. Recover. And then you sit up again, hands by your ears, lifting up. If you've got a second variation, you can play with the legs if you want. Maybe lifting one leg to the sky. Maybe other. You can even play with the hands, maybe one hand lifts, other one. When you're done, coming down, draw the knees into the chest. Squeezing in, see if you can press the tailbone on the ground. Forehead lifts, maybe touch the knees. You can rock side to side, you can take circles. And we're going to take, from here, one more inversion. So maybe adding a back bend to your inversion. So from here, bring the hands behind the knees. Slowly you're going to rock forwards and backwards. We're going to meet in a Navasana. So lifting up, extend the legs, cross the legs, find your Vinyasa. Up dog. Down dog. From here, options. You can take a headstand, maybe take a tripod headstand, maybe a handstand, a pincher. Take your last active inversion. However you like to take it. Maybe playing with feet together, trying to draw the knees to the chest, lifting up. You can stay there or you can try a few times. If you got your handstand, you go to your handstand or the inversion of choice. Take 3 more breaths. When you're done, finding your Vinyasa, however you like to come down from your inversion. Up dog, down dog. We're going to all meet laying on our backs. Walking, stepping, floating the legs through. Come to lay on your backs. From here, we're going to take a shoulder stand. So, hands by your side, lifting up, two variations to come in.
You can push, lift the hips, hands on the lower back, or you can come first to plow pose, hands on the back. We're going to lift up. Pushing with the hands against the lower back. Thigh spiral inwards. And breathing. It is your closing here. I'm slowing down, so if you want to take any other variation, feel free. Now you can stay here many breaths as you want. If this is too much, take the variation with only the legs up, maybe hands underneath the lower back. Otherwise, if you go your plow pose, legs over the head. You can interlace the fingers, push the top of the feet on the mat. If you want to take it further, knees around the ears, you can even make yourself in a male version, a yin version here of that forward fold. Take 2 more breaths wherever you are. And then slowly bring the hands in the lower back, lifting up once more. And then hands on the ground. We're going to roll vertebra by vertebra the body down. Slowly bring legs down, lift up the chest, last forward fold here. However you like to do it, feet together, feet apart. And take the hands by your side. Maybe sitting on the hands or hands by your hips. Lifting the heart. Maybe the head draws back. Now you can stay here. You can even take the head to the ground if that's available. If that's available, lift the feet. Reach for the feet with the hands. And here you can take 3 normal breaths or 3 lion breaths. In or through the nose. Pull out the tongue, breathe out. Inhale. Last one. Gently and calmly release it and come to lay on your backs. Now Shavasana is a pose. It's a pose, so we need to get ready. First of all, allow the breath to soften. Allow the breath to find its natural rhythm. Now the feet go slightly wider than the hips. Arms by your side. Palms up. If you feel you got or you need to receive energy to recharge, or if you feel there's so much energy still in your body, place the hands down, or however feels better for your shoulders. Then maybe press with the back of the head into the mat. Lift the shoulders and allow the shoulders to go wide. Then place the shoulders down, chin slightly to the collar, lengthen the back of the neck. Now press the heels down, lift the tailbone, send the tailbone towards the heels, and then place everything down and melt. The only movement should be the gentle raise and fall of the belly, the chest with the breath, nothing else. Feel your heartbeat, allow it to slow down. Maybe the breath and heartbeat find the same rhythm. With every inhalation, feel a sense of space, of freedom. Every exhalation, feeling the body becoming a little bit more heavy, melting and pressing into the ground.
can, you stay here a little bit longer. As long as you need, as long as you want. If you need or if you want to start moving, start from the toes, move the fingers, move gently the head side to side. At the same time, allow the breath to slowly lengthen and deepen. If you like to do any other movements in your body, make them soft. If you like to stretch, arms above the head, deep breath in. And exhale. Let it go. Maybe the knees coming to the chest. Traditionally, we roll to the right. Feel free to roll wherever feels natural for you. You can use the bottom arm as a pillow. Just take a moment here without rushing. And then you can use the top hand to press yourself down. See if you can keep the eyes closed. Slowly finding your way back to a comfortable seated position. However it is. Take the breath to the heart. Last few moments, doing the same thing we did at the beginning. Exploring ourselves. How does your body feel? Breath, emotions, feelings. First thing, of course, you shared your practice in your hearts. And coming back to your thoughts, the intention, hopefully with a little bit more space. Take a deep breath in. Let's close the space all together with one Om. Breathe in. Right to the forward, gently bowing forward. Moment to thank all teachers, past and present. Thank life, the biggest teacher of all. And I thank you for allowing me to guide your practice. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you